because she is my success partner. She's a rock star with the most humblest heart. Yeah, she's humble, but she's like feisty and fierce. She's a ruby, competitive, but then she's also an emerald and organized. It's so funny. We try to get together, and she's like, "When are you going to get together?" I'm like, "Today." And she's like, "Huh?" You're like, "You got to schedule it to 10." And I'm like, "Nah, I don't schedule anything. I just go for it." But she has been alongside me for a while now, and it's just been really neat to go through the highs and the lows of this business. And, you know, she's thankfully a personal development guru, which I am not. So it's nice having her beside me because she can get me through some moments where I'm like, I'm kind of going downward. And I really, really appreciate her camaraderie and her encouragement in this business. She is a lifetime 6-star diamond coach. She is the founder of Girl Strong. And she is also a one-time elite. I hate saying one-time elite. She is a elite coach. You can see her beautiful picture, just like mine. Right? We kind of have the same like setup. It's kind of weird. All right, cool. Twinsies. But it's Miss Nikki Goss. She also is a mama and a wife and has quit her corporate job to be a full-time Beachbody coach. So she is going to dig in with Instagram, which is something we all are curious about. And with the international markets opening up here real soon, like I don't know if they're going to announce it at Super Saturday or what they're going to do, but Instagram is going to be a huge resource for us because I definitely know that other countries are totally all over Instagram, and you can utilize hashtags like crazy to be able to reach people in other countries. So, Nikki, I'm going to give you the floor. We need to unmute your line. You got it.
All right. You are too kind, girl. You know I love you to death. Seriously, you guys have one of the best in the business. Like, seriously. I've met almost all of them. She's one of the best. So, and you're my dear friend too. I love you. Okay, so I'm going to give your team everything because it's Epic Empire. It's your team. You guys get it all. All right, I'm going to take you through start to finish. If you have your cell phone, get it, keep it close to you. I don't like to just talk and not give you anything. You'll actually be able to build this, okay? So I know you all have learned about branding, and I heard it over and over for like probably a solid almost 2 years, and I thought I had an idea down until I kind of discovered this method, and I realized I had no idea what the heck I was doing, and this streamlined everything for me and made my life 90% easier. So I'm going to walk you through the process. I've done this with my team, and then I did it on another team call the other day, and it worked really well for them too. So here we go. Oh no, did I freeze?
You're unfrozen now. You're good.
All right, cool. Woo, okay. So have you guys heard about like the 5 hashtags or like the 5 things that describe you, right? Like, so this is where you're going to start. So this is where we're going to start because I saw some like eyes, which, you know, tells me all I need to know. Got it. Okay. So who has a piece of paper and a pencil? All right, ready? Here we go. Fold it in half. Love it. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, she's making me work. Yes, yes. Working team call. Working team call. We're going to crush it. Fold it in half. All right. On the left side of the paper, write everything that you have in common with all of the other Beachbody coaches. Things you have in common. If you're stuck, think workout programs, right? We all have the same programs. All drink the same shake, right? What else do we all have? All have access to the same back office training, right? All of those things, same thing. Okay, right side of the page. I want you to start writing things that make you, you, that you don't have in common with every Beachbody coach. So just to get your mind moving. So for me, when I started to do this, I started to write down that I loved girly things. And I was a makeup enthusiast. And at night, I like to watch YouTubers teach me how to do a blowout because I didn't know how to do my hair. And I have the app on my phone for Home Goods, because in the Home Goods app, sometimes the people who work at Home Goods actually post pictures of stuff that's in the store, so you can get the jump on everyone else and know that it's there, because I like to decorate inside my house, right? Different stuff. So what's the things about you? What makes you tick? If you can't think of it, I know how to help you. Go to your like Google search history and look at the last 5 things you Googled. What's the last thing you looked on, like, that you bought off of Amazon? Look at the walls around you. What do you have hanging on your walls? I guarantee you'll start to see a pattern appear. You'll start to see the same colors, even if it's just bold or soft, right? Look in your closet, your clothing. That is going to give you an absolute clue. There's people who only have stilettos and the rest of us have Converse. Very telling about you, and it's how you're going to find your tribe. Okay, like, what do you search for late at night when everyone else is asleep and you finally have 5 minutes to yourself and you're like, I'm going to totally veg out and go on the internet and search for what? That's so important. So important. We don't even think about it. The coolest thing about branding is your brand already exists. It's all around you. You just have to recognize it. So it's not a heavy lift. A lot of people think about it and they're like, oh, I have to develop a brand. You already are one. You already are one, okay? It's just recognizing these unique things. So now you have a list, and you can make it as long as you want. Some people make like 30, some people do 10. What I did is I made my list, and then I started to look at it and said, and I knew I was going to Instagram. I knew I was going to Instagram. And I said, okay, Instagram is all about beautiful pieces of artwork. That is what Instagram is. A photo that works for you on Facebook does not work on Instagram. That grid needs to be gorgeous. Otherwise, people are gone. So if you don't know how to take photos, or if you don't really like taking photos or setting things up and staging, Instagram may not be your jam, but I'm going to teach you a shortcut so you can find inspiration and be able to do this easily, okay? So I looked at my list and said, what can I do continuously that I can post content on Instagram and make beautiful pictures? So for me, it became Mom with Muscles. You must have one thing in there about fitness because you're a health and fitness coach, okay? There has to be a tie. All right, so it was Mom with Muscles, Makeup Addict, right? Because I can so easily grab like my favorite eyeshadow palette and, you know, my favorite mascara, put them down together over a beautiful white shag pillow and click a picture and make it Instagram worthy. Easy, I can control that. Animal rescuer, so I just take pictures of the animals whenever they're doing cute stuff, and then I keep that in a folder on my phone. I preload all of this stuff, right? So I'm not going on the fly every day. That's too much pressure. You can't think if you're just trying to keep up. You have to get ahead. You have to get ahead to allow your mind to think, okay? And it allows you to breathe and be creative. So animal rescuer, lover of all things girly. This is, when I was doing this, I was actually redoing my home office. And I saw like what I liked, right? Like I painted it gray, and I did like this stick-on wallpaper, which is phenomenal, but it was like gray and white, like washed wood, and white shag carpets, and, you know, roses and like pearls, and just like, what are the things, like this is where I put my pens, like this, like your pen holder is your brand, like it's all around you. And I was like, that's really cool. I can capture everything I do, because right, I like the home stuff, right? I can get lost like in any of the home goods stores. I'll capture that under all the stuff that's girly, right? Even the chair, everything, okay? And then the last one I did was healthy with a few sprinkles. Because I eat good food, but I don't think a couple sprinkles ever hurt anyone. And if you're going to post a picture, Shakeology, I posted this to my team page, it better look bomb. And if it looks like poo sliding down the side of the cup, no one wants to drink it. They don't care how healthy it is. If it looks like poo, no one wants to drink it. They're like, why are you putting yourself through that? So there's a huge difference between the I just shook it up in the shaker cup, right, photo that we've all seen. I've done it. And then someone who takes a couple moments to put it in, a mason jar with a cute straw, right? And then like pops a couple sprinkles on it. That looks like something that I would like to drink, right? And I could control those. So a question I got a lot was, wow, you didn't say your kids. No, I didn't. Because I have 3 kids. They're 7, 5. Little girl's going to be 6 tomorrow, and 2. And trying to control them to get a beautiful piece of artwork photo consistently is not in the cards. It is not in the cards. You have multiple kids. You know how that goes, right? Like, just trying to get everyone to smile and look, that's just not going to work for me on Instagram, right? So I talk about the kids, but it's a visual platform. I'll post the photo that we get, like a professional photo. I'll post that up there, and that's fine. But I knew it was something that I couldn't control every day to create content around. So for Instagram, that's why I didn't do it. So once you get your 5, this is where it gets fun. Okay. Once you get your 5, you know exactly what you're going to be posting all the time. It's very easy to open Instagram, look at your grid, and go, what haven't I talked about in the past couple posts? You can see what's missing. You'll visually see it because you'll look at it. And the way I have it set up, so I don't know if you guys can get on Instagram right now, but that's my Instagram account. What you see here are all my notifications. This is going to be what people see and if they decide if they're going to follow you or not. That's it. That's all you get. Instagram is visual. People don't really even read the posts. They just scroll through and double tap and like things. So this is it. So there's my hashtags. Doesn't say beach body coach. No. I'm leading with the 5 things that make me me. The right side of your paper, never the left side of the paper. When you lead with the left side of your paper, it screams one thing: I'm here to sell you something. That's it. Beach body coach, think about it. That's all that comes up. If you go on there and you search lipstick and you see, unique or lip tints, and that's what someone leads with, you know what that person is going to do. They're trying to sell you something. Period. Like, that's it. Second reason, like, you don't want to do that, nor do you want to hashtag like Shakeology, is because you actually connect your potential clients and customers to other coaches. Because on Instagram, hashtags are how you maneuver. So if I'm a person who isn't familiar with Beachbody or Shakeology, and I see, I'm like looking at your Instagram and you're like Shakeology, and you hashtag it, what am I going to do? I'm going to click on the hashtag so I can go see what it's all about, because that's how you discover things on Instagram. And guess what's going to happen? I'm going to find a picture that's prettier than yours. Or I'm going to somehow attach to a top coach who really has Instagram down, and I have forgotten about you. You will send your potential people to other coaches. Don't do it. You need to lead with the right side of the paper. The right side of the paper, right? So that you establish relationships with people, get them into a free group so they can get to know you. And then when you post about Shakeology, but you just call it, whatever, your superfood shake, or, my post-workout protein, whatever you want to call it, they're like, hey, what is that stuff that you're drinking? Because it actually looks good. And they're talking to you about it, right? I don't want to send them to other places. So what I'm going to do is make sure I have the 5 things that make me me up here. So when people get to my Instagram, they know exactly who I am. If you open this up and you see mom with muscles, makeup addict, animal rescuer, lover of all things girly, healthy with a few sprinkles, does it make, like, you feel like you know someone a little bit? Look at yours.
One more time.
Do I feel like I kind of know you from reading the description as you as a person too? Not just you as a coach. So do that, and then look at your grid. Like, look at your first 6 photos that are there. Is there consistency? Do you know what that person's going to post about? Right? Because they'll look at this, and if they go, okay, pretty cool, then you'll get that. One scroll. Now, is your consistency still there? Because if not, they're gone. If they like it still, they'll go one more. Are you still repeating the same thing? And now is when people will start to touch things and maybe follow you. So your grid, so it's so simple when you have these 5 things, because these are dictating what you're going to post. This is a contract between you and your Instagram followers of what you're going to post about. So I took Charlene's Instagram impact training, and she actually said one of the reasons you'll get unfollowed on Instagram, this is a big difference between Instagram and Facebook. Instagram, you must be posting absolutely what you promised you would be posting about. Because if I followed Charlene's workout Instagram account and instead she started talking about infomercials, right, and branding, I would unfollow her, because that is not what I signed up for. So your page is a contract with people. You need to be on point and on target. If you're talking about multiple different things every single day, people are like, what is this person? Look at killer accounts on Instagram. They are so heavily branded. They're focused on a couple of things, and that's all you get. And that's how Instagram works. Facebook, very different, right? We post a ton on Facebook because the algorithm doesn't allow our posts to reach so many people. Instagram is different. If you post 5 times a day over there, and especially if it's like spastic posting just to post, you will be unfollowed immediately. The algorithm doesn't work like that. You'll come up in the newsfeed, and if you're over there and you're conscious of this, you'll see it in your newsfeed. And if you see someone posting 3 or 4 times, you're like, oh God, I've seen your update today. It's different. It works different. So you must be on topic and on target, right? So those 5 are so flipping important. They're shaping everything for you, okay? So you can decorate. I love decorating. As long as you give me a credit card, we're good. All right. So here's how we're going to make it all come together. Y'all get your phones out. There's an app I want you to download. It's free. Don't worry. Typing it in the chat. It's called We Heart It. Okay? Go find it and download it right now. This was the game changer for me. This literally changed everything for me. This one little app. And this, if you're like a Pinterest aficionado, this probably would work in place of it. I just never wrapped my mind around Pinterest. But We Heart It is an app that just has really beautiful pictures on it. Okay? So this is what I did. I went into We Heart It. I heard this was like great app, good pictures, inspiration, blah. I was redoing my office at the time. So when you open We Heart It, there's a search bar up top. So it was wintertime when I did this. And I thought of, okay, what do I love? And for me, it was like really easy. What setting do I like to be in that makes me want to be there, right? Because I was redoing my office. So I want to make it cozy so that I want to be in it. So it was wintertime. I love whites and grays. So I typed in like ski chalet. And I scrolled through the photos there. And when you scroll through those pics, let me just, I'm going to search makeup. Okay. So when you scroll through the pictures, you can like touch them, they open, and then in the middle of the screen, there's a heart. And you can literally heart it. Okay? So I did this, I want you all to do this. I did this for a few things. I typed in twinkle lights. I literally looked around my office for inspiration. Twinkle lights, Himalayan salt lamp, white cozy shag rug. I did that. I did like crystal vases, right? What else did I also did fitness. And I want you to go through until you get like go through those categories, find all the things you love. I went through makeup, and I found like all of like the rose gold brushes and marble, right? I love the look of marble. and you go through whatever it is for you. You could be someone who loves like yachting, and you love boats, and you love the beach and the ocean. Type in beach. And go through, and the photos that make you stop because they jump off the page at you, I want you to heart them. And you can do whatever comes to your mind, whatever inspires you, whatever you love. Like, if I could just put myself in a setting, what would it be? Just things that really like get you going. Colors was like really important to me. Gray and white, cozy, ski chalet, right? You see how that kind of fits in because I like snow. It all kind of follows the same thing. Twinkle lights, like. But it's whoever you are. Some people, it's really interesting when you look at Instagrams from like the Northeast. They're like very dark and subdued, and they're beautiful, but it's completely inspired by where they're from, right? They have a lot of rain right up there, but they get beautiful emerald green colors, and their colors are like very saturated. And it's very different from someone who lives in like Florida, who's a very like more like ethereal feel to it because they're around the beach and the sand. And you can see how like your climate and where you are can actually influence. So it's like, where would you live if you could live your dream, right? Your dream like home, where is it? What are the colors that are around it? And keep going until you've liked a solid 30 to 50 photos. And you can search multiple things. So like for me, I did fitness, makeup, I did ski chalet, I did like white and gray, I did twinkle lights, things like that. And I just liked the photos that jumped off the page. Really, really important. Here's where it gets really fun. Yeah, I did like Himalayan salt lamp, candles. What else did I do? Converse. I love Converse shoes. You don't have to tie them. It's beautiful. I got no time to tie. You can even do things like, you know, fruit or food or whatever. Paris. Love Paris. Boom. Search it right now. That's part of you. That's important. Like you just had a physical reaction. Your body moved and your hand went to your heart. That is important. Recognize how your body moves, right? It was a physical reaction. Everyone else was just scrolling still. And you stopped, looked up, moved, and said, I love Paris. Search it. Who's liked like a good 15, 20 pics? Y'all there? Yeah? Yeah? Cool. Okay. And you'll do more after I show you this because it's the coolest thing ever. All right. So in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a circle. And when you set it up, it's like your avatar. It's your picture. That'll be you. You'll click on that. And when you touch that, this is what I call your grid, right? So that's me. This is all of the pictures that I have liked. Okay? You'll be able to see all the pictures you liked. And right there, it clicked for me. These are the photos that made me stop scrolling. I want to attract me to my business, right? That means my social media needs to look like this. Period. Because that's what made me stop. And I went back to my social media and I looked at it and it looked nothing like this. And I was like, oh my God, I get it. Now it makes sense. The color scheme was right there in front of me. There it was. Grays, whites, twinkle lights, light colors. That's what attracts me. Why am I using something that's super saturated? That didn't stop me from scrolling. So you know what's really awesome about this? This just does all the work for you. Because now I'm like, I need to post about makeup or beauty. I know which nail polish one made me stop scrolling. Now all I have to do is go upstairs, put my nail polish on, and recreate this photo. Because this photo made me stop. See how it just did the work for you? You don't have to sit there and dream it all up. It can be so flipping easy, right? Even like shoes, like which ones made me stop. Now all I have to do is grab my shoes and recreate. There, boom. That's your next post, right? Do you see how like a color scheme pops out, right? I recreated that one. And now you don't have to think, right? You got your 5 hashtags. You go into We Heart It, start searching around them, right? The first thing that you wanted to do was that, because that's the first thing that you just did, because that's going to be your color scheme, and that's so important. So important for consistency. Look at it. What are the colors that you're drawn to? Did you like super saturated photos? Right? Did you stop on those more? Or did you like really whitewashed photos? Or, did you like the sepia photos? What made you stop? You're looking to attract you. Once I figured that out, I was like, okay, Roger, got it. Went out and found the filters that I needed to make my photos look like those ones. And I only ever use those filters. I don't spend 30 minutes trying to mess with a filter again, because there's a certain look that makes me stop. Once I found out how to achieve it, all I have to do is apply it over and over and over and over again. And then the consistency is there on my grid. So on my Instagram, when you go there, see how this looks so much like the grid that I just pulled up on We Heart It. Same colors. Oh, look, it's the same picture. I've used a picture before of a log cabin that I loved. And I found that on We Heart It, right? There it is. The consistency is there, talking about the same things over and over, right? Asking if I want to join the channel. I don't know. I didn't join a channel. That might be something that's new. Whenever I did it, it didn't ask me that. My IG name is Nikki M. Goss. Here. There you go. And so I did this too. So I left up my old posts. So if you go on my account, you can look at the new ones after I figured out how to actually brand myself, and then go to the old ones and look at the difference. I left it up there just so my coaches could see it. Look at the difference it makes when you do this. Okay? Oh, thank you, Ray. I love it now. It's fun. It's fun and it's easy. Like, I can plan what I'm going to do. I can just go upstairs, grab all of my makeup, bring it down here into my office, put different things under the lights, take photos of it, and then I have them for the whole week. It's easy. I know these are the 5 things. This is my contract with everyone that's out there. And what I did is I just transferred that over to Facebook. And that's my Facebook description, right? Fitness is always captured in Mom with Muscles. And then what I'm eating is always captured and healthy with a few sprinkles, right? Oh, thank you. Before and after. Yeah. Come a long way. But it just makes your life so much easier when you do this. So that's how you get the brand down. And then I'll talk to you about hashtags. Okay. Hashtags are everything. Your stuff doesn't get seen by anyone unless you hashtag it. It's the whole point of Instagram. The whole point of Instagram is to go on Instagram and search things by hashtag. So if there is like a new glow kit coming out, like Nicole Guerrero just launched her new glow kit with Anastasia Beverly Hills, I wanted to see people's photos of it. So guess what? I went on and searched hashtag glow kit, right? And then I got to see it, right? That's how people search Instagram. It's different. Just understand, get your head around it. Go searching for some stuff on it. It's actually really cool. Like when you want to check out like different things. what did I look at? Like, I looked at like hair extensions recently. So I was like, cashmere hair extensions, right? And then I got to see everybody who posted photos wearing those extensions, right? So it's a way to do like your own like digging in your like research and reviews. That's how it works. So what you need to do is, again, you're going back to that list of 5. That list of 5 is your life force. That's your heart. And if you don't have that, you're going to be spastic all over the place. And it's going to make your life so much harder than it needs to be. Make a contract with yourself and your followers. You got 5 things. Fantastic. And then move on from there. Okay. So you have those 5. Now you need to make up hashtags. So what I did is I kind of went to the first hashtag and I was like, well, what would I hashtag off a mom with muscles, right? Like hashtag fitness transformation, Fitspo, inspire, life change, right? Thinking about the hashtags, right? And I created like a bunch of hashtags, like the things that I would have searched for if I was looking for someone, right? If I was looking for someone that hit that thing, right? Did the same thing with makeup. Makeup junkie, makeup addict, wake up and makeup, makeup of the day, eyeshadow of the day, right? And then I started using the brands that I use, right? Too Faced, Anastasia Beverly Hills, Tarte, Smashbox, all of the brands, right? And this is the most important part. Once you've done that, you need this, tedious, but it's a must. You need to research those hashtags. You actually need to go search it and then see the type of people who show up when you search that hashtag. Because when you hashtag something, your stuff is going to that grid. And if that is not your target audience, because like we all have different understandings of things sometimes, you're in the wrong place. You have to be in the right place. You have to research that. So when I started to do that, I realized writing like hashtag Too Faced, which is a makeup brand, is way too big. That my photo would disappear so fast, and I needed to get, digger. So like dig deeper. Okay, well, I really like their eyeshadow palette. That's like, it's my jam. I love it. So I was like, Too Faced eyeshadow. And I realized again, still too big, right? Further, Too Faced chocolate bar eyeshadow palette. Boom. Looked at the people on there. Yep, look my people. Done. Winner. Check. Circle. You need to do that with all of your hashtags. Because if you're in the wrong crowd, then none of this matters. And P.S. hashtags change. Sometimes people, like, a hashtag gets worn out or overly used, and like the wrong, or like not your target market people start ending up there. So you need to constantly be looking at the hashtags, right? Or there's like, oh yeah, I'll answer that, Melinda. Or there's like a new hashtag craze that comes on, right? Like a new makeup product is launching and now everyone's talking about it. I need to use that one, right? Because those are like, I like the early birds. I like the early birds, so I got to stay on top of that stuff, right? How did I do it? I found my YouTubers that I would watch late. Here's how this all connects, right? I would watch late at night, and I still do. I watch late at night these YouTubers do their makeup. That's how I learned. And then I went and found them on Instagram, and then I went and looked at their hashtags. See how it's all a circle. There's certain people you watch on YouTube. That's your crowd. And the people and YouTubers are so awesome for you to actually find your crowd because there's millions of them out there. So it is so based on personality because they're all doing the same thing. But if you've ever went to YouTube to learn something or to like watch something, there's some people that you'll watch their channel, they'll come on, you're like, can't listen to this person. Can't do it. Just not my jam, right? So it's completely personality based. So that means that their followers are just like you. If you like them, you all have the same type of personality, which is the cool thing about YouTube world. It's just like Beachbody world, right? Like you got to be you, right? Like you'll notice that if you really start digging something like into YouTube, that you'll really want to know about it. But someone talks for 15 seconds and you're like, can't, gotta find a different video. Okay, so I would use that And that was another way I would find hashtags, right? The leaders of the industry, right? Who has the breaking news? Find them. Find them on Instagram. Watch what they post. Follow them. Check out their hashtags, right? There's your people. You can use 30 hashtags on a post, okay? So what I did is I had that list that I went through and scanned, right? Said, like, this is a cool grid. These people are my people. I'm going to use this. And then what I did is I have an iPhone. So for all of you who have iPhone, like, there's like that little like notes thing, right? Oh, shit. And I have a note that just says hashtags, and there it is. And every time I post, I just copy and paste it. I'm not retyping this every time. That's crazy. It would take forever, right?
Do you ever get the situation where it says it can't load? Am I doing something wrong?
It means you have too many hashtags or you have a duplication in your hashtags.
Okay. And then why do people put ...
Because you want to bury it. So did you ever watch if you go to somebody's account and they put like the hashtags in the actual comment, like in the post, not in the comment, in the post, and it makes me crazy, right? So it's like a beautiful picture outside, right? On like picnic warm days, hashtag picnic, hashtag sun, hashtag summer, hashtag warm day, hashtag no ants, hashtag, and you're like, oh my God, stop. Right? Like you just like killed my, like the whole thing with like 1.5 million hashtags. So you want to go and you want to put them in the comments. And this is why I write it in the notes, because then I can do like, period, like 5 or 6 lines of periods, copy, paste it. And what happens is instead of seeing all of your hashtags, so it's very clear that you're like trying to like, find others or attract others, all you see is the 3 dots like that Facebook gives you when you want to read more. And it looks so much cleaner that way. So you always want to bury it. So I would do that. And it's just really easy when you do it in the Notes app, because then you can just copy and paste. And Instagram is really funny about like the return command. Like you can't get spaces. Like you can't actually hit return. Like everything just ends up on the same line. It's really weird. That's just the easiest way for me to do it. So I do it. Do I use the same hashtags for all the photos? Almost. So here's when I'll change them out. Let me just look at my hashtag. All right. So if I'm doing, so I pretty much have like a consistent theme, except for like makeup is very different than what I ate for lunch, right? So I've got to think about like where it shows up. So if I'm posting just a photo of me, right, like in my office, like fitness transformation, or just like with an inspirational like message, right? Like your only competition is yourself, and it's just a picture of me and I have makeup on. Then I'll put all of my hashtags, and I'll hit the fitness transformation folks. I'm hitting like the makeup folks, all of them, and that's fine. If I just take a picture of the new eyeshadow palette I got, I'm absolutely going to go in and delete flexible meal plan, right? Because that makes no flipping sense. So I'm not going to do that. And the makeup people are going to be like, what? Right? Or people who are searching flexible meal plan will be like, eyeshadow? Like, that's not going to attract them, right? So for the most part, so out of like those 5 hashtags, 80% of the time I can keep the same hashtags, right? And I want to, because I kind of want to be hitting with the same people, right? Because if I'm doing a branded image and they liked the look of my image once and then it pops up again, odds are eventually they're going to click on it and come to your profile. I've actually had that happen to me where I'm like, oh, that's pretty. And then I see another one, I'm like, oh, that's pretty. And I notice it's the same person. And I'm like, okay, I'm definitely clicking on you and I'm going to follow you, right? So when you have that brand, it's really helpful to do that. So I have that one list that I go off of, and then I kind of have sub lists underneath of it. So if I'm doing like more with the animals, it's like I'll switch out like flexible meal plan for like, you know, fur baby, right? So there's certain ones that I will always keep, and then there's other ones that I won't, and I'll just move them in and out. So I think that just depends on you. Like, you just have to kind of look at it and be like, would people look at this and be like, why is this here, right? Or is it something that's really flexible enough? And what is really cool is what's always very flexible is you with like a photo of you with it, like an inspirational quote with it. You can hit everyone with that. Everybody loves it. It can go everywhere, right? You don't have to worry about hashtags for that. Like, everyone's going to love seeing like you be inspirational to other people out there. So you don't really have to worry so much. It's just when you want to get into like the wickets of the other ones, then you'll probably have sub lists. I know some people have 2 lists of 30 that they use, and they'll like change them out every now and then, like just trying to see which one works better for them. That works. I mean, if you really start to get good at discovering hashtags, you can absolutely, like, I've kind of started to build like a second list, right? Like, kind of want to get these hashtags because the ones I'm using are successful, right? If it yields 250 likes on a photo, I don't want to leave that hashtag market. I think it's working. So I want to keep it. But if I'm finding other pages on Instagram that I like, right? Because one thing about Instagram, make sure you adopt this mindset. You're going looking for people. If people find me, fantastic. But I'm going to look for who I would relate to. And I'm going to find them because it's so easy to search by hashtag, right? Search by hashtag, scroll, scroll, scroll until you see a photo that captures you. Click. Check out their Instagram profile. Are they like you, right? Would they jive with your team? If they do, right there, I'll like some of their photos. I'll leave a comment. I'll follow them, and then I put them into like my like funnel system, right? Period. And that's it. I'm searching on Instagram to find people because you can do it there. So sure, people will come to you and they'll find you, and like you can, you know, have likes and stuff like that. But I think what's really different about Instagram is like you can go out and pursue in a way that you can't really on Facebook. You can get through a massive amount. And what's cool is if you're searching for stuff that you actually enjoy, it's your jam, you're actually like enjoying it, right? I was looking at hair extensions because I was really interested in it. And the people who had awesome photos and made me stop scrolling, guess what I was doing? I was going to their pages, right? Liking their stuff, leaving a comment, hitting follow. I was working, doing what I wanted to do, right? And then I just write their name into that funnel system, and I'm going to check back in a few days and see if they commented back. And I noticed too, like, I don't know what's up with Facebook, just like hasn't recovered from the election year, but it's just like a really like place right now. And I don't know, like if your Facebook is like slamming, like that's amazing, and you just keep slamming. But mine is just like, so I was like, I need to find the happy people, and they're on Instagram. Those people are still happy. I don't know, they're just surrounded by so much beautiful pieces of artwork that they're just happy people. And I've noticed that whenever I comment, like they like comment back immediately. Like they'll just talk to you. I never didn't experience anything. I was like, wow, this person just wrote back like immediately. Yeah, they did. And then I see them go and like all of my photos and then hit follow, and you're like, oh, a new friend. And the cool thing about Instagram is it alerts you when someone follows you. So this works both ways, right? So for me, I see a new follower, I'm immediately going to click on them and be like, so who are you? Right? Someone's following you. You want to know who they are. This works in your advantage too, because when you go out and you take that initiative to find people like you, guess what happens? You follow them and they get that same notification. Hey, Jatana's following you. And they're going to be like, who's Jatana? Click. And if your IG is on the spot, they are following you right back. They're following you right back. So you see how you can go find people And it's just how it works, just the human psyche. Like, oh, this person's following me, cool. So go find all the people that you like and like their stuff and follow them. Because when they do that to you, you'll do the same thing. Someone comes to your page, they like a ton of your stuff, they leave you a really nice comment, and they hit follow, you're going to check them out. So if your stuff's on point, you just made a new connection. You just made a new connection. Oh, you got 12 new followers. Yay! I do the business profile because then you get statistics. It gives you data like it does on your Facebook like page. It tells you when your people are on, things like that. And I think Instagram's going to start going the way that Facebook like pages did too, with advertising and stuff like that. It's still Zuck's at the helm here, so like let's be real about that. So just get your business profile because it's gonna go down that way, and you're gonna have to learn how to navigate through it, and it's just easier, right? And you need that data and it's free. You could also use what's it called? I don't know. Iconosquare. This is amazing. I did a free trial of it. The difference with Iconosquare is it not only tells you when your people are online, it actually tells you when they engage, which is so important because we scroll all the time, but when do we actually comment? Like, do you want to be posting when people are browsing or when they're connecting? Iconosquare will show you that, right? And it'll be like your crowd connects, they engage, right? They write back at 4 o'clock on Thursday. And it'll show you the whole grid of the whole week. And it'll be like dark purple to light purple. And it'll show you where your people engage. It also shows you things like which filters are performing the best on Instagram. How cool is that, right? People like the looks of this photo. It's 76% more likely if it has this filter on it. Which filter are you going to use, right? Iconosquare it was on a website. I never used it on my phone. I just did it on a website, and then you just link your Instagram to it. What do you list as profession? Let me see. Do I have profession?
And I have my Instagram page set up as a public figure or as a business. And maybe I'm retarded, but for the life of me, I cannot figure out how to make a list of things in my bio.
Oh, do it in the Notes app, or you can write it. This is how I did it. Open up a Facebook post, like you're going to write a Facebook post, and type it there, copy it, and paste it into the Instagram bio.
Like, it won't let me space down. It won't let me do anything.
That's the weird thing about Instagram. It won't, but write it in Facebook, like in a status on Facebook, and then copy paste it into Instagram, and that's how you can get it to do lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, how in the world are these people doing this? I cannot figure it out.
Yeah. I found them through Instagram, Deanna. Well, first, I have like a couple processes for this. I liked things that were well lit. So when I have like my makeup, when I take pictures of my makeup, and you'll see it sometimes, like if you look close, I put my ring light on top of my makeup, and then I take a photo through it. So the lighting in my office is the first thing that matters, right? So you want to find where in your house the lighting is at a level that reflects the photos on your We Heart It grid. Okay? Because if you like darker images, and some people do, and they make really beautiful Instagram accounts, and you don't want to take them like next to the window, right? Like you want to find like a more muted environment for them. So you want to get as close to the lighting as you can in your home. And you want to be able to find where that is, because this makes it easy to mass produce, right? Because like once you find that spot, you know where to take everything, right? To take the pictures, to find your spot, and then set up your lighting. Okay? So if you've like ring light, so I literally put my ring light up and I hold it, and then I put my phone in the middle of it, right? So I have a good photo to start with. And I always make sure that I take pictures now in the square format, because Instagram crops everything to a square. So make sure you do that so you don't lose it whenever it crops it. That sucks. That happened to me a few times, and we're like, oh man. So I always take it in the square. I get the lighting good, and then I went through Instagram. I like Instagram filters better than any of the filters that are out there. And went through the Instagram filters and figured out which ones worked well. So for me, I use Clarendon a lot, which is like the first filter. It's just it's a bright filter. And then sometimes I just like tone down the brightness if it's too bright, but that just works really well for me. So you just have to kind of mess with the lighting. And once you figure it out, it's so easy. It's so duplicatable, and you just go from there. So if there's like another app what else do I like? Afterlight is an awesome app, especially for doing like brightness. It's really good about brightness and sharpening and clarity. So if you like really crisp, clear photos, Afterlight would be a good app to have. So, yep. My profession came from my Facebook page and it says coach. Ooh. I don't have that. And you know why? It might be because I have mine set to a business account. Mine just says that I own public figure. And that's it. I took it from Facebook. It won't let me change it. Then I would change it on Facebook. Honestly.
I'm putting mine on Facebook right now.
Just let it lead with you. Whoever you are. And Charlene actually she did a really cool live video a day or two ago. And she was talking about how like old sales techniques don't work. And she's talking about how they went out to buy a car. Mm-hmm. And like she had all the research done, so she knew like what her number was, like hit this number, like what they were going to buy it for. And she actually hated the sales guy so much because he was only talking to her husband when her husband like really didn't care. And she hated him so much that even though they were at the number, they walked away and didn't buy the car. And she's like, you know what? She saw like research too that people, if they really like someone, they'll actually pay more than they wanted to. Yeah, there it is. They'll pay more than they wanted to for something because they want the person to have the commission, because they like that person. It's not about the number. It starts to become about the person. She was like, he could have made that car like so that they weren't making any money off of it, and I still wouldn't have bought it from him because I didn't want him to have it. I didn't want him to have the quota. It's so personal. This is why like you really have to lead with you. Really with you and with your story. And like this is why friends like, yeah, it's great that there's a sale and stuff like that, but it's not the number that's going to attract somebody. Like someone who changed my life, right? Like with being vulnerable, I'm not going to wait until they drop the price of their challenge pack to buy. I'm like, actually I'd like it to be more because I'd like you to get more commission. Right? Like you want people to be rewarded for it. So really like lead with you. Find you, use those steps, find your 5 hashtags, find the style of photo that makes you stop scrolling. It will make your life so much easier. From that, like you can just look at your Instagram and you know exactly what needs to be posted next, right? If you've like 6 photos and you haven't really hit like one of your hashtags in the last 6, you know that needs to come next. It's easy, it's consistent and duplicatable.
I love it. And it's so sad. I'm not a big hashtag person, so I'm literally just posting pictures. Every now and then I do hashtags just to say something funny that I don't want to put in the paragraph. But I thank you for doing this. Like I feel like a grandma when I get on Instagram. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But I've heard once an analogy, and I think I've said it on a team call. Maybe it was Shalene that said it, but Instagram is like a magazine subscription. So if you were to get a subscription to Southern Living, right, because you love looking at white cottages and decoration designs, right, and then all of a sudden your Southern Living magazine comes in the mail, and like every 10 pages you see dog show ads. And you're like, what the flip? I didn't buy this Southern Living magazine to look at dog show ads or wine or something like you didn't care about it, but you got Southern Living because you wanted to get decoration ideas. Southern Living's my jam. But and my iHeart, whatever this thing's called, kind of reflected it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm all about teals and blues and pinks and rose golds and blonde hair and beach and weird.
There's your brand.
I did get hungry looking at it, though. I was like, these cupcakes look amazing.
Gotta post about cupcakes.
Oh, my goodness. I love cupcakes. So thank you so much, Nikki. I hope this was super valuable for you guys. I know we all feel kind of lost on Instagram, but I do think that it's a fantastic way to find people that you would have never been able to find on Facebook. And you can find like-minded people who they like your vibe because you guys have similar jams going on. And the way Nikki does it allows you to find that group of people that you connect with. So, I mean, it's funny. I was chatting with a challenger a few months ago, and her cover photo were these cute light tan cowboy boots that had a little bit of teal accents on them. I'm like, that's my girl. I don't even know this girl, but like, I love those boots. And it was just a cover photo, but she became a challenger. We had something in common just I could tell based off the cover photo. So that's what Instagram is. And with this whole international thing, this information is super valuable. So I hope that this helped. Any other last questions? Make sure you get your photo so that you can say that you were on a banging team call. Banging, that's not a good adjective. You can record now, Nicole.
Past 10 o'clock, turn it on.